Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kathy Rain. The rain is lashing down outside, the lightning is flashing, the thunder is rolling, and I thought we'd play something a little bit thematically relevant. Sorry I've been off for the last couple of video release days, it's been a hell of a week, but I am back with you now and we should get back on track from here on in. So, without further ado, let's get started and see what this game has to offer us.
Hey, you.
Hey. Oh, man. Oh, God, this is so comfy. I'm just gonna lie here and suffocate on my own vomit now.
I had a thing I wanted to tell you.
Uh-huh. This room sure looks different when it's spinning.
So, I was browsing through the used book ads in the paper when
Listen, Eileen, I'm totally excited about books right now, but...
Wait, hear me out! So, I noticed this article about a war veteran from Conwell Springs who just died. I remembered that you used to live there and everything, and...
Oh, how I wish for joyful, blissful sleep.
And get this! His name was Joseph. Joseph Rain.
What did you just say?
You knew him, right? I knew it! I knew you'd know him.
Yeah, he was my grandfather. Hey, wait a minute, I never told you where I grew up.
Oh, well, I might have sort of looked you up.
That is not cool, Eileen, seriously.
I just couldn't help myself.
Well, one of these days you're gonna help yourself to a restraining order. I'm just telling you this as a friend.
I know. Well, anyway, you should know that the funeral is tomorrow.
Okay.
Are you gonna go?
I don't know. Good night, Eileen.
Good night, Kathy.
So it is 1995, we are Kathy, we are a journalism student at a university, and we live with the dweeby Christian roommate Eileen. This being American universities, which are very, very weird, you live with people in the same room, which seems very intrusive and unpleasant to me, but that is apparently how I understand it works.
Thank me later, E. I'm so getting a new roommate. Well, I guess I should get going. I'm late enough as it is.
This being 1995, it's a good excuse for us not to have a phone, which would allow us to solve puzzles. You'll see from the mess around Kathy's bed and so on that she's not exactly the most assiduous roommate. She's got the classic student posters up here. I think that one is Pulp Fiction, and the guitar, which I imagine is probably not.
Got it cheap from a lesbian I met at a concert. Good times.
Yes, and I don't imagine it's massively, hugely played. So, let's rummage through this room and learn a little bit about our environment.
With inherited clothes and Christian joy. Eileen's girly suitcase. There's a sticker on it with her full name. Eileen Mildred Summers. Mildred! Oh my god, I'm gonna get her for that. I wish I could wrap up that fact and save it for Christmas.
Indeed. So with that, let's head out the door and on with the game. So Joseph Rain, our grandfather, is going to be the fulcrum of this story around which all the plot revolves, and we're about to learn a little bit more about him. So we only have one potential location to go to so far, ahead of this rather badly done parallax scrolling background. So let's head off on our incongruously nice motorbike for a 20-year-old college student or whatever we are.
Well, here we are. God, I really need a smoke. Does anyone object? Guess not. Dead people.
Probably wouldn't have been so societally frowned upon in 1995. I was technically alive, but I was too busy crying and pooing myself at that point. Because I was a baby, not because I was just having a bad year.
It says price.
Okay, nor does then. We're after the rains, and looks like, yep, here we are.
We are gathered here today to honor a person of great integrity, a pillar of the community, and a decorated war hero. His name was Joseph Irving Rain. We all remember his warm heart, his compassion, and his eagerness to help others. His passing, while our loss, is surely heaven's gain. Now we entrust our brother Joseph to God's mercy. We commit his body to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, in sure and certain hope of the resurrection to eternal life through our Lord Jesus Christ, who will transform our frail bodies so they may be conformed to his glorious body, who died, was buried, and rose again for us. To him be glory forever. Amen.
And with that, we are left alone with a woman who
Kathy,
appears
big
to be...
baby, just talk to her.
Yep, a relative of ours, either our mother or our grandmother,
Mary
maybe.
Elizabeth Rain, my grandmother on my father's side.
There we go. So, well, nothing for it. Let's have a chat.
Excuse me? Mrs. Rain?
Have we met, Anna? You look strangely familiar.
It's me. It's Catherine.
Catherine who?
You don't recognize me? I guess it's been a while. I might be a bit taller than you remember me.
Kathy? Bless my soul. Look at you all grown up. Oh, how I wish Joseph could see you now finally coming home.
Let's hope he can. Wherever he is.
A comforting thought, dear. Lord, how long has it been? 10 years? 15?
15 sounds about right. I was 6 when Mom took me away.
Goodness, we have some catching up to do then. I want to know everything. Listen, I'm not quite ready to leave yet, but why don't you join me at the house in half an hour?
Sure, I'd love to. I passed it on my way here. It shouldn't be too hard to find.
I'll see you soon then. I'm so glad you found your way back home. I can't wait for us to have a chance to talk.
Same here. See you in a bit.
Well, looks like we've got our next location to find out a little bit more about our grandfather. We can have a look at some of these graves here, which there doesn't seem to be much point in doing yet, but
sorry for your loss.
Thanks.
If you wish
thanks,
to
strangely muscular priest
the Church
model.
of the Holy Trinity is always open to you.
Is that so?
Here, have a brochure. It's never too late to turn away from the path of sin.
And what makes you so sure I'm on a sinful path, Father? Wouldn't you say that prejudice is but a small step from the 7 big ones?
I simply meant that we are all sinful creatures, child. I hope to see you at the church.
Don't get your hopes up, buddy.
I'll pray for you. I wish you comfort in this time of grief.
Well, we could probably use that, because that motorcycle saddle is going to play havoc with our thighs. So we now get the option for the second location. We can't go back to our college dorm, mysteriously. Seem to have been locked out. But that gives us an opportunity to head over to the Rain residence.
Grandma, anybody home?
Apparently not, but the door's unlocked. So what's in here?
Cute
A little red horse.
It's some old Swedish thing, I think.
I have seen those around. I'm not really sure what they are,
This
but
paint looks fresh. Grandma must have had this restored recently.
okay. So we've got a wheelchair here. Was
An
that
old wheelchair.
Granddad's?
Not too dusty. Probably used recently.
Because our grandma seems able to walk.
These should come in handy when
phone.
I need to make calls.
Aha! So this is doing the adventure game thing where you have an actual usable phone you can
A small
play with and
table
dial
lamp.
things into.
Some kind of winter forest scene. I've always wondered if it's supposed to be Conwell Woods or not.
Quite possibly. Looks like some
Dog
paintings of
fighting.
some Spitfires
Grandpa
or something
used to
here.
love that stuff.
Probably not Spitfires if it's America. Well, let's see what's happening in the living room.
Oh, hello, dear. I was just wondering what took you so long.
Sorry, I couldn't resist taking that old wheelchair for a spin. Oh, don't give me that look. I put it back.
You haven't changed one bit. Always kidding around, just like when you were little. Come have a seat. We have so much to talk about. So, now, tell me about your life in the city.
Oh, there's not much to tell. I'm going to school for journalism. It's my second year. I ride a motorcycle in case you missed it there out front.
Ah, that's right. Just like your father.
Yeah.
I don't live in America,
I
but,
must ask.
you know,
Have you heard
I went through
anything
university
from
and I didn't know any second years when you were, what,
Anything at all?
19, 20,
No,
who owned a
nothing since he
motorbike.
bailed way back then.
I expected as much. He disappeared without a trace. No matter, that's ancient history. How's Sharon, then?
Mom's good. Yeah. She's kind of between jobs right now, but things are okay.
So we've had her committed,
Glad to hear
which
it.
isn't great.
I was worried about how you two would cope in the city, considering Sharon's problems.
Yeah, about that. I'm sorry I didn't visit sooner, Grandma. Mom, she told me all these horrible lies about you and Grandpa. When I was old enough to understand what she was doing, I felt like it was much too late.
It wasn't your fault, dear. You were a child. I'm just happy that you're here now.
Me too. So, what about you? How have you been doing all these years?
I've been lonely ever since the accident. There's no denying that.
What accident?
Goodness gracious. Of course you don't know. She took you away before it all happened.
Don't know what.
I will never forget that dreadful day. August 16th, 1981. It was the middle of the night when Sheriff Truman knocked on our door. He had Joseph with him. I couldn't even recognize Joseph at first. All dirty and wet with an awful blank stare on his face, like his soul had been ripped from his body. Since that day, he never spoke a word. Forever confined to that blasted wheelchair.
Really? For all this time? I had no idea.
It came as a shock to all of us.
That's horrible, Grandma. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, dear.
So, incident in 81. So, Kathy is 19 or 20 in 1995, so she would have been born in 75 or 76, so she would have been 5 or 6 when that happened. Okay, so she probably wouldn't remember that. Good opportunity here to look at her inventory. We got church brochure, we got a pack of cigarettes, we got a Zippo, we got a stun gun, which
I don't
is
want to show her
seems
that. She'll just start worrying about me.
a little bit over prepared. Carry a knife or something maybe, but stun gun, not nice.
I don't want to show her that.
Okay, well I guess we'll just talk to her about the incident in 81
Why
then.
do you think Grandpa suddenly left that night in 81?
I haven't the faintest idea. He acted very peculiar not long before it happened, disappearing for hours at a time. At first I even suspected he was having an affair. When I asked him about it, he just said he was chasing old demons. Must have had something to do with the war.
Maybe it was post-traumatic stress disorder? Grandpa always had a hard time showing weakness.
I don't know, dear. I'm just speculating. I didn't think too much of it at the time. Joseph was a man of few words. I'm sure he just didn't wish to burden me with it, whatever it was.
What did the doctors have to say about Grandpa's condition?
Persistent vegetative state. That's what they call it. I've heard it all by now. One doctor said it was a stroke. Another claimed it was a seizure. The third hack tried to sell it off as a severe infection. It's all a load of tripe. I had an MRI performed on Joseph. It's one of those state-of-the-art head scans.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yes, well, according to the scan, his brain was completely intact. They thought it was a technical problem at the time, some kind of glitch, but the result was the same after 3 different scans on 3 different machines. Eventually, they had to confess that they simply had no credible explanation for the state he was in.
And this injury just happened to occur on the very same night he mysteriously disappears?
Indeed. I refuse to believe it was a coincidence.
What did Sheriff Truman have to say about the matter?
Not much. He said they simply found Joseph in that condition on the outskirts of town. The sheriff was convinced there was some kind of foul play involved, but the investigation turned up nothing. He later said that he was sorry, but that he was forced to close the case.
You know, I could try to find out more about this.
You're welcome to try, dear. Some kind of closure would mean the world to me.
Okay, I think I'll head over to the sheriff's station for a little chat then. Would be nice to witness police doing some actual police service for once.
Sure, you go ahead. Let me know if I can be of any more help.
Okay, so it looks like we've got the
Grandma.
central
I'll be
mystery
back
of this
later.
thing.
So long.
We're going to try and find out what happened to our granddad back in, well, 14 years ago from when this is set, about 40 years ago by now, this game being set a little while in the past. And, yeah, there's some kind of mystery afoot, I reckon, otherwise this wouldn't be much of an adventure game. So, looks like we've got the location for the sheriff's station. Let's go there. And I'm assuming we can't just barge in and start poking around, but we'll have a look at the incredibly garish flag on the wall.
A medieval fortress near an ocean, probably supposed to be somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, not many medieval fortresses in
A
America.
bunch of cops lining up for a photo.
What bum? The one in the cell. Oh, I thought it was with you. Well,
Might be something useful in
Shit.
there.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to need to either speak to these guys or get past them.
Hi.
hello.
Do I have to commit a crime to get your attention? Because I seriously will.
Ma'am, I'm really quite busy at the moment. Hey, wait. I know you.
I'm pretty sure you don't.
Yes, I do. You're Kathy. Kathy Rain.
My reputation precedes me, in a kind of but not totally creepy way.
Aw, come on. It's me, Lenny. Lenny Marks.
I'm drawing a blank.
Really? You don't remember us playing when we were little kids?
Not really. Sorry, buddy.
Darn. Well, that's a bummer. Anyway, what can I do for you today?
Well, let's
I wanted to
go
ask
straight
if
in.
you know anything about my grandfather's accident.
I really don't know much beyond the rumors. The sheriff may have more information, but even he probably doesn't know anything that isn't in the report. It happened before either of us worked here.
Okay, I think I'll have a chat with the sheriff then.
Sure thing. His office is to your right.
I'm pretty sure this isn't
Well,
how
gotta go.
open policing
See ya.
actually is. I should hope not, anyway. I would have thought these things would be kind of under data protection laws and so on.
That must be the sheriff. Hello, Sheriff. Do you have a moment?
Not really. Make it quick.
Do you know what happened to Joseph Rain in '81?
He had a stroke in the woods. That's what happened.
If that's all there is, why would Sheriff Truman open an investigation?
It was just standard procedure. A general occurrence report always has to be filed.
I see. Did you know him at all?
No, I haven't been in town for long. Man sure has one hell of a reputation, though. It's been over a decade since he was put in that wheelchair, and people still talk about the man he used to be. It's like he was a cult leader or something.
Sounds like a conspiracy theory to me.
Could be, but you know what they say. Things too
Sounds
good
like
to be
bad
true.
adventure game foreshadowing to me. Okay, this gives a new conversation option at least. I won't show him my taser.
Can I have a look at that report?
Absolutely not. They were official police documents.
Why not? I thought filed police reports are public record.
Not in this state, they ain't.
I've no idea what state we're in. That would probably be quite useful
But I'm
knowledge.
family. Doesn't that count for something?
You consider yourself family? I've never even seen you before in this town.
It's complicated.
Guess what's complicated? Not to mention illegal. Handing out evidence to anyone who asks for it.
Aw, come on, Sheriff. What's the big deal? It was a long time ago. It would make this girl very, very happy.
Are you trying to use flirtation on an officer of the law? Well, that shit may work on numbnuts like Lenny, but I got work to do.
Well, that's a bit of a
Lenny,
clue,
a
isn't
little
it?
help here?
Let's
Don't
call
you
in our
agree
simp.
that he's taking by the book too far?
Well, boss, she is his granddaughter, really. I don't think it's any...
Don't you think I know that? There are rules. Am I the only one in here who cares about the law?
Too much coffee? Try not to pop a vein.
You want to see the inside of a cell?
Oh, cuff me, officer. Spare me the torment of your rhetorical questions and veiled threats.
Just follow the rules like everyone else. I've had enough of this nonsense.
Fine.
Well, looks like we're out of here. Wonder if we can explore anything else in the
Lots of police reports,
station.
organized alphabetically by the looks of it.
Could I steal one of those from behind him?
I
Let's
would, but
try.
I can't do that when he's right there.
Ah, it's an adventure game, so obviously we have to distract someone. Can I send him a fax?
Not sure where
Let's
those
have a look
doors
what's through
lead. I should
here.
go check.
Okay.
Apparently it's fine to just wander through random doors.
That's no good.
Guess you just wander through to the cells like you're totally allowed to do.
If I ever
You
feel
just
the
use
urge
the
to
mop.
clean, I'll know where to go.
I could hit Lenny with the mop, grab the file and
Very
run.
funny. Looks like an
Who's this
incarcerated
guy?
bum.
Thank you, game. I could see
Hey.
that with my eyes.
What? I can't hear you.
Okay, looks like the TV needs to go off.
Thanks. That was getting annoying.
Now will you talk to me?
Hey,
Hi there.
so, why'd they put you in that cell?
It's all just a big misunderstanding.
Is that so?
Yeah, I didn't mean to steal anything. I was just using my pockets to move the beer to the checkout.
That's the worst excuse I have ever heard.
For your information, I happen to have a deadly fear of shopping carts.
I take my last statement back. This excuse is even worse.
Hey, it wasn't your father who was killed by a shopping cart when you were 8.
I sure hope
Might have been.
To be fair, mine wasn't either. It was just Uncle Bob. But that doesn't mean it was any less traumatic, mind you. To this day, I still get nervous breakdowns at grocery stores.
I think I've heard enough, buddy.
You're right. We should stop before the flashbacks begin.
You need to keep the blonde cop out there busy for a while.
I do?
$10 says you do.
I'd say my services in this matter are worth at least $20.
9,
15.
8,
Fine, 10.
7.
Deal.
Good.
So, what am I doing again?
Distract that young cop in the lobby. I don't care how you do it, as long as you keep him occupied for a while.
Okay then, let me know when.
Will do.
Guess we just have to wait for this guy to get
Hey,
this guy out of the
jail
way.
is off limits. You shouldn't be in there.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
you didn't stop me going
I
in,
just
Lenny.
heard someone yelling. I think that guy in the cell needs some help.
Ah, what now?
Okay.
Get Lenny
I have
out
to
of the
make this
way.
quick.
Let's just root through the files while they leave the police station unattended.
Okay, let's have a look.
Good thing the file is in this small cabinet rather than the giant filing arrangement behind the actual sheriff. An individual was encountered on the side of a dirt road a few miles from Conwell Springs, blindly walking forward with his eyes wide open. The subject was identified as Joseph Rain. He did not respond when touched or spoken to. He appeared to be dirty from head to toe and wet up to his knees. Mr. Rain was fiercely clutching a small tape recorder complete with tape. Being cooperative, he could be led into the squad car and transported back to town. 12:25 p.m. Picked up Mrs. Rain and brought her along with Mr. Rain to the emergency room at the community clinic. 8 a.m. Upon routine inspection of the patrol car, a tape recorder was found discarded on the back seat. Filed as evidence in locker number 5. Okay, so there's a tape recorder in locker number 5.
I'm gonna have to get my hands on that recorder.
Well, I assume the lockers are in the back, given that
Let's
they're not
find
on
a
screen
key to
here.
Locker number 5. Got it.
Again, brilliant police station security here. Truly stellar. No CCTV or anything.
Lenny, I need you to do something.
How can I help, boss?
It's my mother's birthday this weekend. You'll have to get her.
Okay, so this should be reasonably easy. These boxes, maybe? Ah, lockers are here. Okay, fine. Locker key. Use locker key on evidence lockers.
Alright, got it.
Dictaphone. Alright.
Note to self. Remember, the perfect bouquet consists of 3 red roses, a blue violet, and 2 yellow tulips. I've been working on my research in the attic at night. I just don't want her to worry. She has enough to think about with everything that's been going on lately. With Sharon and Kathy. Anyway, I'm getting closer to finding the source. I have a theory, but I need help. I'm gonna have to involve somebody else.
Well, here's interesting. Okay, so that's the attic, presumably back at the house. We've got the location for that, so I guess let's head there and see if we can break our way in there. I'm going to imagine it's locked, but this is an adventure game, so there will be a key.
Hey, Kathy, wait.
What?
Do you eat foot? I mean, food?
Absolutely not. I feed on human misery. Relax, Lenny. Yes, I do eat food.
Oh, well, great. Can I buy you food sometime? And also buy food for me? And then maybe we could eat the food together?
I'm really busy right now. Maybe later.
Oh, okay. See ya.
Sorry, Lenny. Your sexy 90s hair is not going to attract Kathy. Well, back to the Rain residence.
Oh, hello, dear.
Let's see what we know about the attic.
Mind if we talk for a bit, Grandma?
Not at all, dear. What's on your mind?
Would you mind if I took a look in the attic?
I suppose it would do no harm. Come with me.
Thanks, Grandma.
You're welcome, dear. Be careful now.
It looks like she doesn't take very good care of this place, frankly. It seems to be kind of falling apart. Can we see what's on the desk? No, can't interact with anything. Is that because it's dark? Can I put the light on?
Nothing. The bulb must be burned out.
Oh, obviously. Okay. Let's have a look around the rest of the house. Can I get the
A lamp
light
on the
from
ceiling.
the ceiling?
Nothing special about it. Not a horrible idea, but I can't reach it. Besides, that light bulb looks like it wouldn't fit.
Okay, convenient.
Nice black leather coat. Right up my alley.
There's another lamp here. Can I use this one?
Free light
Yes, I
bulb.
can.
Score.
Excellent.
The
So
bulb
if we
looks
remove
burned
the
out.
old light,
I'll have to replace it.
let's remove the old light bulb and replace it with the good one. And not tell Grandma that we've messed up her table lamp.
There we go.
Okay. Right, so now we can interact with the stuff that's in this room. Let's have a look at the typewriter.
Cobwebs.
What else? We got some papers.
Just some
Are
old
they any
bills.
use?
Nothing interesting.
You might want to pay those.
Decades old coffee. Lovely.
Oh, I can't imagine what kind of mold that's going to contain.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Alright, this isn't called Ashen's Rain.
A thick
That
book
was his
about
book.
math.
Okay, well, we got another item at least. Can we go through the drawers?
Nothing.
What about these drawers?
Empty.
Okay, anything else interactable? Oh yeah, the briefcase over there. So it's locked and we need some kind of code, which we don't have yet, I don't think.
Briefcase, sealed by a combination lock.
Alright, well that doesn't give us much to go on for now. Let's read this maths book. Okay, so, right, okay, we had something about red, blue and yellow, didn't we? The flowers on the dictaphone message. We had a black book, the black bookmark. Let's go to the red bookmark. And so this appears to be prime numbers. Yep, 2, 3, 5, 7. Yeah, okay. So we need the first 3 of those, I guess. So 2, 3, 5. Then what's next? Fibonacci sequence. Okay, yeah. So I think it was like 3 from red, 1 from blue, 2 from yellow. So 2, 3, 5, 1. Oh, and then pi. Okay. 3, 1. 2, 3, 5, 1, 3, 1. Let's give this a go.
Yes!
Aha! Let's crack this open then. What do we got inside? Just an envelope, looks like. What's in there?
Let's see what's in here. There were 2 pictures, a newspaper clipping, a key, and a tape inside.
So quite a lot to look at. Alright, let's read the newspaper
Tragic
clipping.
drowning in Conwell Springs. In early morning on Sunday the 14th, a teenage girl found dead near Conwell Lake. The girl is survived by her mother, father, and younger brother. The funeral service will be held at Conwell Cemetery on the 21st of July. The notice is dated July 15th, 1975. Tragic
It'll be
story.
about the time we were
Grandpa
born.
saved this.
Drowned teen girl. Maybe not the best thing to go straight into my grandma with, but what else have we got
in
here?
uniform with 2 other men. Something is handwritten on the back. Flight training. McConnell Air Force Base, 1941.
Oh, that's not a good time to join the US Air Force.
Looks
Another picture here.
I can't make much out. I think I see trees in the background, but most of the picture is just bright white.
Alright. We got this
It's a
key as
small
well.
key, fairly modern design. No identifying tag, unfortunately.
I don't think we've got anything locked yet. We got this cassette tape.
Tape I found in the briefcase. It seems that it was used in an answering machine at some point.
Alright, can we put it in the dictaphone? Okay, we can remove the tape from the dictaphone, so I'm assuming we can. Cool, let's give this a go.
You've reached the Rain residence. Leave a message after the beep. Hello, Joseph, Mrs. Rain. It's me, Charles. I thought I'd give you a call. Erica just had her firstborn. It's a boy. Thankfully, he looks nothing like his father. Listen, I was thinking maybe you'd like to come and visit. And what about your little Kathy? Maybe she wants to see the baby. Well, anyways, I hope to see you soon. All the best. Bye.
You people make me sick. We're never coming back. Don't call, don't write. If you ever try to contact us, I will call the police.
Oh, that's unpleasant. Okay, so is that...
Joseph, you there? It's me, Cocky. It happened to me too. And I'm not going to tell any of those bastards. They got it all wrong. You're the only one I trust now. Just
so here's a mystery. Reminds me of the Tontine episode of The Simpsons. So Cocky, that's the same voice as that Charles guy. So lots to go on here. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Let's go downstairs and... Ooh, that's
office
quick.
supplies. Nothing in particular catches the eye.
No, so a quick rootle through the shelves gives us nothing. Let's head downstairs and speak to Grandma.
Oh, hello, dear.
Mind if we talk for a bit, Grandma?
Not at all, dear. What's on your mind?
Does the nickname Cocky mean anything to you?
Sounds vaguely familiar. It reminds me of the aviator call signs Joseph and his friends gave one another. Joseph was vigilante. I can't count the number of times he got into trouble for breaking the rules. To this day, I have no idea how he always managed to land on his feet.
Must be hereditary, given the things I've gotten away with. Every time
I keep
wake
thinking
up,
it's strange that
I'm
they'd have
genuinely
memories of
surprised that I'm not in
being
jail.
together during the war, but actually I keep forgetting
I'm
this
sure
is
it's not that bad,
set
dear.
25 years in the
But
past.
to get back to the subject, you don't have any idea of who this Cocky is?
I'm afraid not, but the Air Force might be a good place to start.
Oh, we've got an Air Force thing here, although...
Can you tell
Yeah.
me anything about McConnell Air Force Base?
It's not very far from Conwell Springs. Joseph was stationed there for some time during the war. I believe they're still training young pilots there today.
So, when did Grandpa enlist in the Air Force?
Oh, it was barely past the honeymoon when Joseph left to fight in that terrible war, together with his best friend Charles and my brother Andrew. Those were nerve-wracking years. I was
So
so
Charles is
worried
cocky,
I'd
and Cocky was his best
burst.
friend. Makes sense.
Every short visit from Joseph was a joy, but he kept going back to the front, to my great dismay. When I told Joseph about being pregnant with your father, he finally realized that enough was enough. He had done his duty. Shortly thereafter, he returned to a quiet farmer's life in this very house, helping your great-grandfather with the crops until he passed.
Okay, let's see what she thinks of the photo.
Brams, can you tell me anything about this picture?
It looks awfully bright. Perhaps something was wrong with the camera.
Yeah, maybe. I should try to figure something out tomorrow at the university.
What about the
Look
normal
at this photo
photo?
I found in the locked briefcase.
Goodness, I haven't seen that picture in years. This was taken when Joseph was stationed at McConnell Air Force Base. That's him right there on the left.
What about the other two?
I don't remember the name of the smiling man in the back. The gentleman on the right was Joseph's best friend, Charles Wade.
Okay, so Wade's definitely going to be a big thing here.
What can you tell me about Charles Wade?
Well, I do know he has made quite a name for himself since he and Joseph went to war together. Apparently, he came up with some brilliant piece of engineering for the airplanes. They use it everywhere now.
Any idea how to get in touch with him?
I'm afraid not, dear. I haven't seen him for years. He and Joseph grew apart before you were born.
Any particular reason for that?
Oh, not that I know of.
Okay, let's ask about the drowned teenager
Do you
then.
know anything about a young girl drowning around here?
Oh, yes. It was the saddest thing. She was only 16. We never really knew the family. They preferred to keep to themselves.
Do you remember the name of the girl or her family?
I'm awfully sorry, dear. I just can't recall.
That's okay, Grandma. I was just wondering why Grandpa would have wanted to save this.
Joseph was always affected by the tragedy of others. Perhaps he wanted to do something for the family. In any case, he didn't speak to me about it.
I've had a thought. So she was about 16 when she died. We know she died in 1975. It was around the time that I was born. So if we go to the cemetery, we could probably get information about her, or at least what her name is, from the grave. Because if we found someone who was 59 to 75, that would do the job. Right, so that's something we've got to do at some
I
point.
don't see a reason to ask her about that.
Okay, we won't ask her about
Bye,
Cocky.
Grandma. I'll be back later.
So long.
What shall we do then? Let's find out about Wade and the other stuff first. We've got a phone book here, so maybe we can use that to look up Wade.
Damn, no Charles Wade in here. Was worth a shot, but being rich and famous and all, I guess he's got a hidden number. No hit for Wade Industries either, but it was kind of a long shot for them to have an office in this small county anyway. I should try to get a hold of him some other way.
Okay, what about the Air Force Base? Aha! Oh, we got a number for our dorm room as well. We could call Eileen. Right, okay.
Air Force Base, how can I help you?
Hi. I was just wondering if you had time to answer a few questions.
Sure thing, ma'am. Ask away.
Alright, what will they know about? Probably not Wade, because he would have been there ages ago, but worth a go.
I'm trying to get a hold of Charles Wade. Would you happen to know how to reach him?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but Charles Wade is a public figure. He has explicitly asked us not to provide his contact details to anyone.
Is there any way you could make an exception? I really need to talk to Mr. Wade.
No can do. I can't really help you out unless you have some sort of official business.
Fine, we'll pretend to be a cop. This is taking a weird turn, but whatever.
I do have official business. I'm Deputy Reagan. I'm calling from Conwell Springs Sheriff's Department.
Nice try. Do you know what caller ID is? You can clearly see that you're not calling from the station. Goodbye.
Damn, I can't pull that off if I call from here.
Okay, fine. Right, I guess I'm gonna have to call from the, police station then. Wonder if they can tell us anything about the incident.
McConnell Air Force Base, how can I help you?
Hi.
Sure thing, man.
Do you know anything about what happened to Joseph Rain in 81?
I know that he was no longer stationed here at the base at that time. He'd left the Air Force decades earlier. But as a Conwell Springs citizen, sure, I've heard the rumors just like everybody else. How he was found by the sheriff all messed up, walking out of the woods with some kind of unexplained brain damage.
Any theory as to what he was doing out there?
I'm afraid not, ma'am. But I'm positive that it had nothing to do with this base or our operations here.
Okay. What can you tell
All
me
these
about
public
Mr.
figures seem very keen to rumour-monger about a guy they don't know.
This pile of metals weighs more than my car. I was fortunate enough to meet him before he suffered his injury, and I must say, what an inspiring man. I'm positive that he would have made General if he'd stuck around.
Any idea of why he quit? He looks so happy in the pictures from the war.
Oh, your family, ma'am?
Granddaughter.
Well, then I'm sorry for your loss. I heard about his recent passing.
Appreciate it, buddy. So, about him quitting.
I shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but some say the war broke him. PTSD. Me? I don't think so. When I met him, he had this aura about him, like he wasn't afraid of anything. Maybe it was just guilt. He ended a lot of lives, but that's just me speculating.
Gotcha. Thanks for the thoughts. What can you tell me about McConnell Air Force Base?
This is one of the oldest Air Force bases in the U.S., established during World War I. The main purpose of it is to train fighter pilots. The McConnell Flight School is well-renowned all around the country. In the late 80s, the school started accepting a limited number of civilian applicants due to the high demand. Some of the most famous dogfighters in U.S. history, such as Ethan Fireball Jenkins, Joseph Vigilante Rain, and Brett Savior Myers trained at this very base. Charles Wade, the great industrialist, did too. Some claim that many of his revolutionary ideas came from the former chief mechanic here, the late Niles Bloom.
Interesting. Thanks for the history lesson. Do you recognize the aviator call sign, Cocky?
Afraid not, ma'am. I know all the call signs here, and I'm positive it's not one of them.
This isn't current, though. It might have been used as early as World War II.
Oh, that's unfortunate. We don't keep any official records of call signs. The only option I can think of is to get a hold of somebody who was around back then.
Any suggestions?
The only person I can think of who is still alive would be Charles Wade.
All right, thanks.
My pleasure, ma'am. Anything else I can help you with?
All right, that's all.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Well, there we are, with a good number of intrigues set up around our grandfather and his history in the Air Force. So, I think we'll do a little mini-series of this. I'd like to see more of Kathy Rain. I've never beaten it, and I'm kind of curious to see where this leads. So we'll leave it off for here, and I'll resume, I guess, on Sunday. We'll just keep ploughing through with this until we get done with it. I don't imagine it's a very long game. Most of these adventure games aren't. But there is still more to do. So, in that case, if you want to help me grow the channel, you can always subscribe, and I am on Patreon at patreon.com/digitalwild. So, if you've enjoyed this, I will see you next time. And don't forget, we've got Paper Mario on Saturdays as well. See you next time.